students to work with. And I think that those two things combined have really made Form Forge an amazing club. So, my students are laughing because they know what this is. I have my own Discord server open to my students called the Husky Hangout. Generally, it's used to field questions for my classes, mostly probably for goofing off and sharing different memes and such. But I thought this would be a great starting point for gauging student interest in this new club. I actually asked one of the students who became a team lead, Stefan, for club names. I wanted to start a sculpting club initially. It made sense to me. I specialize in digital sculpting, and so I launched a poll. With this unofficial official poll, students chose Form Forge as the name for our new club. And although we chose a name, there still was really no vision, if I'm going to be honest, for how this was going to look. Was it going to be workshops, talks, lectures, projects? I mean, sure, I think it could be all of those things, but it was very much up in the air how this was going to come into fruition. So let's start at the beginning of the summer. I think that was a big turning point for me when it came to developing what Form Forge was. I attended a workshop for curriculum development, and I think it was really significant in defining the path forward for what Form Forge was to be. Don't get me wrong, it was still very amorphous, and all of this was sort of just coming and going and coming together in a whim in a way. But it was clear to me the best thing to do was actually redefine the sparse idea that I currently already had. So initially my idea was to create a sculpting club, but I was going to run into a few issues with just a sculpting club. We have very limited amount of students and an even smaller group who knew how to digital sculpt as well as maybe passionate about it too. And as an instructor, I always want to make the biggest impact that I possibly can. And I think at the end of the day, that meant letting go of what sculpting club and what my comfort zone was, and opening it up as best I could to include as many students as possible. So ultimately, we broadened the idea, and we moved into producing a production club. Accessibility and belonging. Those would be the pillars to which I wanted to build Form Forge on. So we went from a sculpting club to a production club. A production club would allow as many students as possible from all walks to join and participate, from freshmen to seniors and beyond. It was open to anyone with a very simple premise: come create. Come imagine. Come make something bigger than what you are. Come test your skills. Come be a part of a group with a goal. Come be a forger. So, as a production club, everyone could contribute. Around September, I released this post, making the Forge open and calling to as many students as I could get a hold of to come participate. I know my students got annoyed with me because every class I was saying, please come join, it's gonna be great, you'll love it, I promise. So I officially put out the call to my AID students, and it was to include current students as well as alumni. Anyone interested in participating in the semester-long project was wanted. Both concept artists and 3D artists were needed for the vision that I had. I curated a theme and a location, characters with important assets. All of the information was provided and laid out on a Canvas shell, as well as a separate website so that it was accessible to the alumni who agreed to join as well. I created a spreadsheet of assets on a Google spread, and I had short descriptions for every asset that the students could take to build from. The idea was that it was to be a build your own adventure. I'm very aware that we all have limited time, and I wanted everyone to know that they could still contribute, whether it be a main character or just a fork in the scene. Everything was going to be important for making this project great, and anything that you could contribute was going to be important to the success of our project. And like I said, fully aware, we all had class. We all had other things to do. We all were committed to a lot of different things, and it was a big undertaking and asking for you guys to come in and step in and take on even more work. It was more work, more art, more of your time dedicated to us. And it is a lot to ask. I couldn't require it. It was honestly nerve-wracking because I had reserved the gallery space in the summer, and I promised to deliver a show, not knowing what was actually going to happen. Were the students going to see the vision? Were you guys wanting to take on that extra load and to make something great with me? And I think the answer was yes. This is a screenshot of the spreadsheet of students signing up to participate in FormForge. The answer was a resounding yes. We had to increase the number of assets that we had so there was enough availability for interest. The students wanted to continue participating and continue building. We had a handful of students outside of the animation and interactive design area inquire and want to be a part of this. We had alumni who were thrilled to be asked to come and contribute and be a part of a show, and to be coming back to ECU and be a part of the AID family still. In total, 30 artists, and I'm very proud to say this, 30 artists had hands in this project and participated in the first FormForge. And I want to take a time to give a massive round of applause to you guys. Everyone involved was important. This is a celebration of you guys, you students who pushed through to do this extra work and make such a fantastic production. Everything was possible because you guys trusted the vision and went with it. So, FormForge 2024 is called the Siren's Grasp. Siren's Grasp is a prompt, and I thought that it was really fitting for our first FormForge to be a pirate-themed FormForge. So we have a tavern that's home to a cursed pirate named Alara Stormfury. I'm not going to read all this, no Mother Goose today. You're welcome to, and it's going to be posted in the gallery. But there were simple descriptions, massively creative artists, and an incredible team that pushed forward this entire semester with this production. We did not have enough time to achieve everything that we wanted. We did not reach that perfect vision, but I like to always tell my students, done is better than perfect, and I think we've done a damn good job, to be honest with you. So, one thing I have to do, and I know it's a little embarrassing for these three, but I do have to brag on my team leads. The team leads were probably one of the most important cogs in the machine of what the FormForge was. So after I announced FormForge at the very beginning of this year, I had a student, Garrett, who reached out to me over the summer and said, oh, this club sounds fantastic. Are there any leadership positions? And me being the unprepared, nebulous person that I am, I was like, no, but it's a good idea. Put a pin in it, we'll come back. It made sense. Why would we not have a club for students that doesn't have a leadership position to it? But I didn't know what that would look like. Fast forward to the fall, in August, I had two students who were my independent study students, Elizabeth and Stefan, and we sat down and had a conversation that had good ideas that evolved into what the leadership position should look like for our FormForge team leads. They were going to act as if they are art directors. They were the ones who took on the responsibility of managing a group of assets that were all assigned to different students. They had to reach out to the students and make sure they were making deadlines, meeting all of them and turning in their work and submitting it. They had to be quality control and really define the vision for how the actual art has evolved. They were giving great feedback to their peers, providing tutorials and giving fantastic suggestions. As seniors, I could not be more proud for how they have directed the art vision of this project. I want to give another clap to my team lead. Many early mornings where I'm sure you did not want to get out of bed, you came here and helped, whether it be walking through the space and giving ideas, hanging things, or running to a class to try and promote Form Forge to your peers. You guys did an incredible amount of work, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you've done. Now, to also put them even more on the spot, I would like for each of them to come up and just talk a little bit about the Form Forge and really what it meant to them. And we'll start with Elizabeth. You might have to click the button in the front, and it'll turn green, and then you're good.
It's blinking red. I don't know what that means. I can just be loud.
We could trade off. I could give you this one.
All right. Hi, everyone. So I'm Elizabeth, if you haven't already put that together. I helped Ms. Husky with Form Forge. It has been a fantastic experience from start to finish. If I have learned anything, it has been that leadership and service and dedication can really do a lot in a short amount of time when you have the right amount of people. And that's exactly what we did. I know everyone spent a lot of late nights, a lot of time crunch, a lot of work to get a lot of stuff done. To everyone who was on my team who locked in, thank you. I know I had to poke a lot of people, but it's okay, because everything got turned in, and everything looks so good, so incredibly good. I'm so proud of all of my classmates who really put the work in, and it definitely shows. And I just want to say thank you for the amazing opportunity to serve you guys, and to lead, and just to leave me with an experience that I could not trade for anything in the world. So.
Also, really quick, we have some goodies for our Form Forge team leads. We have cords for their graduation walk because this was an incredible amount of work for them to take on and be responsible for. So we want to be able to recognize them when they graduate that you led our Form Forge team. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, thank you all so much for coming out tonight. My name is Garrett Moore, and alongside my talented classmates and my talented peers, I wanted to thank each and every one of you for taking the time out of your evening to come out today. As Ms. Husky said, we all have things to do. I have 5 models to do tomorrow, I haven't started, so you got that. And thank you for taking the time and dedication to really show up and present yourselves. It really means so much to our program. I also really wanted to use this time to thank Ms. Husky. For my time of getting to know her, she has really impacted my life. I wouldn't be the man who I am today. And she has really just shown her brightness and enthusiasm. And ever since she came here, she has impacted the lives of so many. This program isn't the same, and in the better. I could never imagine going to any other place. So she would always say, and I'm sure y'all know, she would be like, I'm so proud of you guys, y'all done so much work. And she is. And I'm so proud of her because she spent a damn time working on this project. So I just want to give her a round of applause.
And Stefan.
universe and one of the officers performed Forge, if they haven't been called out by name already. It is an honor to stand up here this evening and, talk to you all about how we formed our Forge and make this completely real. When I was given this role to be in an exalted position of power and lead a bunch of talented artists, I thought it was going to be a bit of a piece of cake. But it was. We had a few hiccups here and there with maybe a few close calls with the concept art. Maybe models weren't coming out as fast as I hoped. Now I was worried, are we going to have all the models? Is it going to be a full stage? Will I have to clutch something? I did clutch one thing, and that was Dorian. He's done, he's real, and I'm happy about how he came out. And we made it real! It's Form Forge is real. And I'm happy to be a part of the first members to make that happen. It was a great collaborative experience. I'm glad to have Husky to be with us through the whole thing and push and poke us to make this creative vision work the way she wanted it to. The mood board, we had a mood board that I made, and it was such a process to think how we're gonna make it all happen and what sort of vision, what is possible for us collectively as the artists, because I don't know what everyone's capable of, and I really wanted to make sure that everyone had a chance to make it in accordance to the grand Husky vision of the Siren's grasp, and still be doable for students experienced and novice alike. So to all of the artists new and experienced who felt like they could do something for the Form Forge, congratulations. You helped make this real.
Thank you guys for coming up and speaking and letting me put you on the spot. So as you can tell, the journey was hard. This production was very challenging. It was a lot of pressure for everybody that was involved. Many things had to shift and change, and the issues that arose were very difficult at times, but Form Forge has been very agile. From the canvas shell not working as intended, to just personal difficulties. Life happens, and it's really hard for us to kind of push through and still want to be focused on school, much less a extracurricular activity. But I have to say I'm inspired by what my 2024 Form Forge team has been able to do. We had teaching moments. We had we had students teaching their peers how to make their art better, whether it be making models better or making their textures better. We had collaborative moments where we really kind of got some great input from multiple students to improve the designs of some of the work you see. We had great leadership moments where there were gaps in arts that really needed to be filled, where students stepped up and took even more work on because they're like, hey, we don't have tables for the tavern, we might need tables. Or Dorian isn't quite done yet, do I need to do that, right? And I didn't have to ask. They just hopped in and did it themselves, willingly. And I definitely think we had many moments of fortitude where artists have learned what is truly possible when deadlines are fast approaching and you are talented enough to push through. So my hope is that after this production, after 2024 Form Forge ends, that the team feels a little bit more prepared for their destiny as an artist. That they understand how important their contributions are going to be to projects, no matter how big or how small that they are. That their creativity can build truly amazing things. And that probably the most important thing is that keep creating. What you're making matters. So, really quickly, before we let me show you guys what we've done. that was our big project. So, what is Form Forge? As the coals cool and embers settle from the forge closing, I have to ask myself again, what is Form Forge?
Wait, girl, I gotta take a picture.
I think Form Forge is a lot of things. It's a journey. It's a learning process. It's an inspiration. It's a struggle. It's a lot of different things. But I hope for the future that it grows from here. I would love to see other areas interested in expanding and in participating in the Form Forge moving forward. But as you can see from the comments, some of the that have been screenshotted from the Discord, we have a lot to be proud of, and our journey has finally come to an end. We do have awards though. I always think it's really important to highlight our students, and I want to celebrate some of the really exceptional work that we have. It was very challenging picking. We had so many good pieces. We had over 50 pieces of concept art that was turned in. We had roughly 30 models that have been submitted. And so it was a lot of art to get through and a lot of fantastic work to judge. I want to start off by giving out the cords for those who took on an extra load of work. We had qualifications for earning a graduation cord with the Form Forge that some of you guys met. Lital, are you here? Lital, come on up and grab your cord. Next would be Malaya. Ray Young. Abby. Angela, are you here? Angela. And Madison, if you want to come up as well. Thank you guys for all of the work you decided to take on to make this possible. So, we've got a few more awards left before we open up the gallery space. I want to start with what we are calling our Highlight Forge Awards. I would love for Poe to come up and accept the first Highlight Forge Award. Poe did an incredible amount of concept art for us. Our second Highlight Forge Award is going to Jake. This is a wonderful piece. Our third Highlight Forge Award is going to Stefan. Now, I would like to give our Master Undergrad Award for Modeling to Eliza. Is Eliza here? Incredible models and stepping in when we desperately needed some things to fill out this Our undergrad undergrad master concept art award goes to Ray Young. Phenomenal concept art with some of the most interesting designs. And for my alum who gets the Master Legacy Award, I don't believe they're in attendance, but Sam Lanier did a phenomenal job. I think he's tuned in watching the live stream, so if he is, congratulations, we'll send you the award. We'll mail it to you. That's all. I forgot to put a thank you slide in, but thank you guys for attending the presentation. We're going to go ahead and open up the gallery space, and you're welcome to walk through and take a look at all the work that's been produced.